87 or 86 point something percent of Spurs, right, until now, since the late 90s, right, and that turnover was in 2001 or 2002, right, plus what I'm saying is that Daniel Levy has said before in his Cambridge or one of his interviews, he's been saying, right, we are more like a public listed company because we have 30,000 fans who actually hold shares in Spurs. My question that I've always been asking, who are these 30,000 fans who hold that 14% of Spurs shares? You see? So he's trying to justify his financial arrangement, right, to make the club stable. I thank him for that. Building that stadium, I thank him for that. But not moving on with the football, that I don't thank him for. And not being responsible for his mistakes, right, in running the club. Every mistake that he's made, right, he's cost us money. Ndombele, 60 million in transfer fees. Another 60 million in wages. Right? Second Poch, compensation. Second Mourinho, compensation. Second Nuno, after 3 months, or 6 months or 3 months, compensation. And don't forget our latest manager that got sacked or resigned or whatever, compensation. All that money being thrown down the drain with no accountability. That is why I want Daniel Levy to step out of our club. It doesn't matter whether he steps out of football, he steps out of the finance, he steps out. You can say not running the club anymore, because there's so many. If you were the CEO, right, of a major company and you made losses all these years, what will happen to you?
Sack.
Even if you own part of the club, you've been removed, right? But because our fans take it as it is, right? I've been saying the homegrown fans that we know, like channels of YouTube, like Tottenham Away, Tottenham on Tour, Stelios, Brian Daigle, they take that risk and they protest, right? For me, I've been leaving out, in out since day one, right? And I've never changed my stance, right? I've been doing shows on this, and I'm not mistaken, I'm the only Asian YouTube channel that does this. Levy in, in out. Levy out, not Levy in. Levy out, Levy in. In out. I'm going crazy nowadays, right? But guys, what I see is very sad, right? Our club doesn't bring us trophies. If I tell you, right, if every 2 years, right, you bring us a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup, I'm not even seeing the Premier League, right, or even the Champions League, a Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, a European Cup, even a Conference League, right, a trophy, right, and you want to raise the prices, I won't say a thing as an international fan, right? But being an international fan, seeing the local fans being actually taken advantage of, right, being milked like a cow, right, I can't stand for that. So that's why later, Chang and Doc, right, after the show, I had to sit down with you and have a chat, since the Malaysian Spurs AGM is coming out. Let's see what we can do there.
Can I just have a brief point about all of this? Number one,
ahead,
we know that the core support has always been the home support. Yes, the people around the area in the UK and all that. We understand that, but football now is an international branding situation. Okay, so we have to accept that. And despite the fact that it costs a bomb to go out there and attend any match, I used to just drop by in London on the way to a meeting in Montreal, and then I spent a few days, and even then I couldn't get a ticket. I couldn't buy a ticket. And then the other thing is, we must always remember at the end of the day the purpose of sport. The purpose of sport is to win, right? And to win again and again, even if you lose, at the end you win a trophy. That is the purpose of all of this. It is not just to participate and qualifying in 4th or 5th place, right? And then you say every year after year you see that as success. Okay, that is success in a certain measure, but it will not make you people remember and cite and quote your name.
No,
Ah,
I know what you're saying, right? A lot of our Spurs fans nowadays, right, are so
Yeah.
happy. They're happy because of being financial success. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we are top of the chart of the FFP. You can say, no, we can buy 600 million pounds. We can spend 600 million pounds on players, and nobody else can, right? Oh, we are the highest revenue club in London. We've made 500 over million pounds in revenue, right? But we don't perform. Like what you said, now the problem with Spurs is the majority of the fans, right, are psychoed in a way, like what Andrea's saying, Stockholm syndrome. You've been programmed to accept, right, trophies don't matter. You get what I'm saying? Right? It's the journey, right?
Yeah.
But the journey, okay, I'm going to swear soon, but because I get heated up when it comes to this journey has been fucking 24 years with one trophy. What is there to justify this? There's nothing to justify this. But of course, I'm not going to say. I believe every fan has got their own way of loving the club and supporting the club, and everyone has got their own opinion on how they want to conduct themselves, right, and do their things. Like for me, is that how are we going to actually send this message out now, right? To tell, even international fans now are not happy on what Spurs are doing with the tickets, even we don't go, right? But to tell the truth, like Doc, if you later I'll talk to you in the back room. If you really want to go to London and get some tickets next time, just call us. I'll arrange the ticket for you. There's no more no tickets because we do have a connection of actually being able to find tickets for fans who actually travel overseas, right? Arthur will know that, right? We've done a lot of that for a lot of the YouTube community where fans come from America. We will arrange the local fans will arrange tickets for them. Even some of them are so big-hearted that they know that you are first time coming here. They don't even mind giving you the ticket. You get what I'm saying? And especially the season ticket holders, they don't mind giving you a ticket just to go and watch the game. I know Spurs fans in our YouTube community who are willing to do that, but of course, we will always pay back some money. It's not fair just to take the ticket for free. You get what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that at this moment in time, right, even being as international fans, we should stand up and say, no, we ain't going to take this from the board. You want to raise the season ticket price, okay, because let's say 6% is a blah, blah amount. Maybe you can reduce it, right, because of inflation, match the inflation rate or something like that, right? But don't play around with the senior citizen concession.
No.
Because don't play around with the senior citizen concession. People like Arthur has seen us lift the title before in 61, 62 season. You get what I'm saying or not? Right? And now you're telling Arthur, right? Arthur, next year, how much do you pay for your season ticket now, Arthur?
Nearly £600.
Yeah, £600. That means next season you have to pay double, right?
No, next season, yeah.
Next season he has to pay double, £1,200 for his ticket. You get what I'm saying? So, and I've seen a lot of social media where they're going. A lot of the senior season season ticket holders are saying, the season ticket holders are saying, I can't afford this anymore to go to Spurs because with let's say £600 or £400 for the season ticket, I still can afford to go. You get what I'm saying? Not right? But now with this type of things happening, I can't afford to go. You see? And I did see a tweet right out there. Someone said something is that some of these senior citizen ticket holders actually take their senior citizen ticket right at a discount price, and later they sell it off and make some profit out of it. Right? To tell the truth, maybe Daniel Levy knows about this, so he's trying to stop this. Right? He wants that profit and not give it to the senior citizen ticket holder. Right? So maybe that could be it too. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe instead of doing this type of nonsense, maybe Daniel Levy should make it, instead of taking away the senior citizen concession, right? He should say that, as you are holding a senior citizen ticket, right, from this concession price, right, you're not allowed to resell this ticket. That's all, right? Find a way to get around it. But like what Andrea's saying, they need the local fans to protest about this issue, right? Guys, last season when Conte was in charge, right, the songs of Leave It Out rang across the stadium, right? When Nuno was in charge, when we lost 3-0 to Manchester United at home, the Leave It Out chants shocked Levy because he never thought that the fans would turn on him. And the fans has turned on him, right? When we got Ange in, the football came back to be acceptable football. He came out and said that, oh, we've got an old Spurs back. My question to him is, which old Spurs do we have back? The one that's under you that win nothing, right? Or the one that's been under Scholar that we've been winning so many things, right? Even under Sugar, right? We won things. You know, Alan Sugar had our club for how many years? 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, right? Was it 4 years after? 4 or 5 or 6 years? Right? Yeah. In that 4 years, Sugar won how many cups? I know we didn't win the Premier League, but at least we did win at least 2 or 3 cups, right? In 4 years, right? Inek and Levy has been in charge of Spurs for 24 years. Financially, you made a stable, right? But like what Doc says, what is the point of sports? Are we kindergarten children? If we are kindergarten children, then it's okay, right? Everybody's there for the participation. We are not kindergarten children anymore, guys. We are here to win things. So let all the people out there, if the international fans can actually find a way to show their displeasure on this, I know it doesn't affect us that much overall, but we should actually stand up and support the protest of this business decision that the club has made, right? Go on social media, show your displeasure. Go on what call platforms, right? Talk to your Spurs fans and tell them, you know, we can't accept this, right? It doesn't matter whether you're Korean, whether you're Indian, whether you're American, whether you're Malaysian, it doesn't matter where you're from. We have to show our displeasure about this. And of course, we have to show that we want to win something. That's what I'm going to say, right? If I'm not mistaken, Doc is not frozen. I thought Doc is frozen. Doc, you're not frozen. Doc, you're really good at that, right? Oh, you're really good at that. Yes,
just listening intently.
Levy met with a sheik recently, about a week or so ago.
Yeah, I know.
They're talking in terms of £3.5 billion for Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, if it's £3.5 billion for Spurs, right? If there's a buyer out there, I don't mind. You get what I'm saying? No? I don't mind. Just as long the buyer doesn't say this, right? I just hope this doesn't happen. Levy will say that I will sell you the club for £3.5 billion, right? But then I'll still be chairman. That's my biggest fear, right?
He doesn't want to let go.
Yeah, I know he doesn't want to let go. That's why I'm saying now he's whatever it is, right? The Spurs board has to wake up, right? The football club will not exist without the fans. That's all. And what Andreas says here, right? The old Spurs basically means fans are happy that they are being entertained, and it's all about having that day out, beer, and being entertained and getting a cup final, and means an extra day out. Yeah, that's why, Andreas. It's all come to that. We are happy clappers for the journey, right? We're all kindergarten children here, right? We're all about 4 or 5, 6 years old, right? When we participate in something, you get a medal or a star. Are you gonna be happy with that, guys? I'm gonna be happy with that, right?
No way.
And bloody hell, if Arsenal wins the league this year, what's gonna happen, right? I wanted Arsenal to win the league last year, right? But they bloody bottled it, right? Because if Arsenal won the league last year, right, I tell you, the Leave It Out protest, right, would have tripled. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. They bottled it, right? So let's see what happens this year. But okay, let me get to Chang first. I've gone on my stupid rant for more than 20 minutes. Chang, what are your thoughts on the feelings of the international fans?
For me, international fans have always been taken advantage of, and we have been exploited for our loyalty, our steadfast, unwavering support of the club that we love so dearly, to the point that all of us are pretty much Tottenham till we die. lily white blood runs through our veins, and for this fact alone, for Daniel Levy and ENIC to take advantage of that and turn it into insane figures, insane amounts of profit that line their own pockets, they are laughing all the way to the bank when they see us literally almost pay through the nose with our hard-earned cash and our salaries just to feel part of the club, just to feel like this is part of where we belong. And for me, especially the international fans outside of Britain, outside of outside of Europe in itself, the international fans actually have it worse, because this is exactly what Mr. Eugene said earlier, unless you are really that wealthy and you are what do you call this rich enough to afford the airfare, even the match day tickets, or even the lodging there in N17 or anywhere in Britain, wherever you may be watching those matches. All we can do, international fans, all we have when it comes to following Spurs, we buy merchandise, we buy jerseys, we follow match days live on the television. We even try to get our hands on very rare memorabilia or rare souvenirs that are honestly very few and far between when it comes to what is on offer for us international fans. And that in itself, that by its own definition is enough for us to be bled dry almost by the merchandising, by what do you call this no, it's the gifts and souvenirs from the Spurs official shops. And it's one thing for us to be paying X amount of money if that is expected, or rather that is the market price. But in actual fact, if we were to compare, like for example, jersey sales alone, the prices of jerseys alone that Spurs fans have to pay for our yearly kits, whether it's the home kit, away kit, third kit, whatever it is, you compare those prices, the Nike kits, with that of the prices being offered by other clubs, we are paying prices at a premium, almost I wouldn't say it's mercenarious, but it certainly is very steep. It certainly is very, very, very pricey, especially when you take into consideration things like our currency conversion. You take into things like our international shipping, all these put together. And for the average fan, maybe you can afford maybe a jersey or two every other season. But beyond that, our international fans are really being bled dry. And that is just us international fans. I'm not even going to go into what the local fans themselves have to endure, much like what King Arthur himself has to pay almost on a yearly basis just for the season tickets that is being expected from the loyal fan base. And this isn't something new, actually. If you go back to the old lane, the old White Hart Lane, when you look at the season waiting list, that queue.
They say the season tickets queue is past 100K. Yes, up. Right, but during the Conte time, somehow or another, when things turned bad last season, a lot of the people in line were bumped up very quickly to get the season tickets to cover up. That's why I'm saying the club doesn't care that much on whatever happens, right? Because they know, right, if you leave your seat, it will be taken over. Yeah, go ahead, Arthur.
Just to let you know, before I became an old boy, 14 years ago, when that position changed, I was paying £1,250 a year. And then the year after, because I was an old boy, I got it for £400.
Wow.
Sorry, £365 it was.
From £1,200, you got it for £300 for the season ticket.
Yeah,
14. You're talking about 14 years ago.
Because 14 years ago, because I was an old boy.
Yeah.
But that's changed now. And the season tickets, even for old boys like me, have all gone up. Nerry wants
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
away with it entirely.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And
Doc,
I've supported this club. My parents were Spurs fans. I was 3 years old. I can't remember that, but I remember my first game when they were playing an internet German team. That was in 1951, and I was 6. That was where Eddie Bailey went up for a ball with a German player, and they cracked skulls. He was never the same player after that, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, my history goes a long way back. I've seen the way
Yeah.
prices are going, and it's always up.
Yeah. No, that's part of the world, right? Inflation, blah, and all that. But I mean, from 300 after 14 years, now you're paying 600 quid. That is more or less, yeah, okay, fair. 14 years, the rise is nearly double after 14 years, right? Nearly 1.5 decades, right? So that's quite fair, right? But now they're going to remove it. But that means now you're going back to paying the original price again, right?
Yeah.
After 14 years, yeah. And Doc, your feelings about being an international fan?
Well, it's on the one hand, that the core support for the club has to be the people over there who are physically there on a weekly basis, year in, year out. But at the same time, it takes a lot. It's not just about the expenses, It's about being out there thousands of kilometers away, but yet having that strong affinity for the club, the way we play and all that. At the same time, whenever I tell people that I'm a Spurs fan, they're all mystified, They are very mystified. They say, well, they always expect, because you're surrounded by Manchester United and the Liverpool fans, however deluded they are. And once in a while, you come across the Arsenal fan, and then you say, oh no. Okay, but at the same time, the most important thing is that they become like that because it's a culture of winning. There's a culture of winning and winning trophies. Because they win trophies, so there's an aura of invisibility that they cloak themselves with, even in hard times, like what Manchester United is experiencing right now. Even then, also, they still think they are the top team, right? So there's nothing wrong with that, because you have to believe in your team in the first place, support them. That's why we're all here. But at the same time, that puts as I acknowledge your point, Eugene, about this thing, like we are held hostage. We're held hostage by our own devotion for the club, and that's been exploited by the chairman at the moment. I have no love for him, I tell you. At the end of the day, I'm there for the team, not for the chairman. So the most important, I'm there for the team and not the chairman. And I'll be happy. On the one hand, a lot of people are not in favor of getting some oil state coming in to buy the club, right? On the other hand, some people will say that will be the way out. Let Levy, arrange and do business with all his concerts and American football and all that. Let the football people run the football. So this is something that I feel will be an arrangement that will be all about balance, Because on the one hand, you want the football to flourish. On the other hand, you need the finances because it's professional football. So this is something that I feel we do not have. We do not have the balance between what we need to make our club stronger, but at the same time, we are not chasing our mission statement to make our team stronger. So this is something that I feel we need to correct. And whatever protest that we have, I've always wondered, what has Anik ever come up with a mission statement, in terms of the football?
I've never seen one.
Never. Right? They never say. Let's say, for example,
our DNA. They always say we want to maintain.
No. No, even thieves have a DNA, okay? Right? So the most important thing is for people to say, what is our target? To win this or that or that. We have been there or thereabouts, being a top 6 Premier League team, and then being in the top 4 and being in the Champions League all this while. But it's time for them to target winning something, right? And everything, we are just hoping, we're not planning.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, Doc. Because like when Newcastle was taken over by the Saudis, right? I mean, we all know what happened there, right? When the Newcastle was taken over the Saudis, right? At least their new owners came out and says that, right? Our ambition, right, is to win the Premier League within the next 10 years. They put in a timeline, right? And a vision and an ambition, a target to hit, right? Our owners for the past 24 years, right? They've never said anything like that. They only just says that, we want our, during the Nuno time, there was one period of time after Mourinho, he says that, he came up with a statement that says that we need to get our DNA back, right? Our old Spurs back, the blah, 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 right? But now, to me, DNA means definitely no ambition. Yes, and the worst part is our fan base accepts this. Majority of our fan base doesn't have ambition. You're not like Arsenal fan. Arthur, hold on. You remember Stephen Fittley, right? The dear boy. Stephen, his first year anniversary is coming up after his passing, right? You remember when he always come on our channel, right? We'll have like all the Spurs fans will gather around him. He'll be one Arsenal fan on my channel, right? And he'll just say one thing. I have only seen Arsenal win things, right? And I'm Arteta out because we haven't won anything in 20 years. I don't want to see the FA Cup. It's nothing. I won the league. We don't have fans with that kind of passion of wanting to win the league, right? Because we are Spurs fans here. We are sitting down here at the moment. We aren't even thinking about winning the league. We're thinking, can we win the Carabao Cup? That is the most easiest cup for us to attack. But we even don't do that. What happened this year? We were kicked out in the first chance in the Carabao Cup. FA Cup, I've got nothing to say. It's because big up Danny. Hope you're doing well. The FA Cup, I got nothing to say because we were drawn against Manchester City, right? Even at home, we didn't even turn up. Or while our fans were all saying, our fan base was saying, oh, Man City comes to the Spurs Stadium, can't score goals, right? They are this, they are that, right? We will surely beat them. But what happened, right? Nothing happened. Right? We lost again. So we're out of the FA Cup. The Premier League, okay, we are not even in the title chase. But of course, during the first 10 games, right, we were there, right? We were title contenders. Now we're top 4 contenders, barely, right? So that's what I'm saying. The fan base ambition is lacking, right? If you have more fans like me, Arthur, Doc here, and of course Chang, right, who understands that the sport, right, has an objective, right? If you play a sport without an objective, right, why are you doing it? Just for the participation? So are we going to all just sit down and become fans like that? Go ahead, Arthur. Sorry, just to let you continue what you want to say.
It was just slightly humorous. I was going to say there is ambition, and that is ambition on Levy's part to make more money.
No, of course, yeah. There's no ambition in the football, but there's ambition of the money. And to tell you, right, a lot of fans out there are saying, "Oh, we can't do it like what Scholar did, right? He nearly bankrupted us." And I keep telling fans, right, we are too big to fall nowadays. You get what I'm saying? Not once you reach a certain level, right, when your club is worth billions, right, we will never go under, right? You tell me, if Spurs goes under tomorrow, right, and there's a nominal fee of £1 for someone to buy it over and then cover all the debts, right? I'm sure someone will do it because the stadium is worth at least £2 billion now with the land, right? And don't forget, Levy is a property developer. The land around the stadium area
and the training facilities, that cost a fortune to build, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
First class,
right?
world-class facilities.
Yeah, and for what, right? And our training facilities, right, is, we are developing youth, right, to sell. We are not developing youth, right, to integrate them into our squad or our first team to bring us to glory. Look at what Liverpool did, right? They basically gazumped, right, $1 billion Chelsea squad, right, with youngsters. I'm not saying all of them were youngsters, right? But when they were playing in extra time, 60 to 70% were youngsters after all the substitutions and all that. And they still beat Chelsea. So that's a bad thing for Poch, right? And of course, Andrea is saying some cultures is only about taking part. Yeah, but the thing is that we ain't going to go there, right? And what Danny is saying, right? Yeah, we are Yo-Yo Club, Champions League football 1 year, then there's, no, we are not, and then they're giving us crap about getting the Champions League money. Yeah, that is the thing. Is it the fans' fault? that we didn't get Champions League? Were the fans
No.
playing on the pitch? No.
No.
Who chose the managers, right? Who buy the players, right? And we have been saying this, right? Daniel Levy should not get involved in buying the players. You get what I'm saying now? He chased after Jet Spence. Remember, guys? Jet Spence. 15 million pound player for Conte. In the end, where's Jet Spence now? That's what I'm saying. The amount of money wasted on players is horrendous. And he's not taking accountability for it because he blames someone else. Because the best person to blame in a football team, right, is the manager. Simple as that. So
Clever.
whether we have ambition or not now is whether our fan base have the ambition to want to win something. If you really have the ambition, like what I told, we're talking to Arthur about Stephen, right? He's the kind of fan that he says that he doesn't care. FA Cup, Carabao Cup is bullshit. I want the Premier League, right? But sadly to say that he passed on even before Arsenal could win the Premier League. I actually wanted Arsenal to win the Premier League last year because he passed on last year. But this year, maybe, hopefully, they will win. But if they win, right? I'm not an Arsenal fan, guys, all right? I'm not an Arsenal fan. But if they do win, right? The Arsenal fans is going to rub it in our faces for 1 year. I'm sorry, for one season, okay, for 1 year, right? The whole season.
Yeah.
And the worst part is that what are our fans going to do? Sit down and take it? Why aren't we going to push it, right? So, of course, what Danny's saying, right? Who sanctioned bringing in Brian Hill, Daniel Levy, as well as a player I could see from day one? Nah, to tell the truth, right? That's what I'm saying. Bad. It's not to say we don't spend the money. We have the money, we spend the money on draws. Right?
That's right.
We spend the money. Our vision of buying players, right? Under Daniel Levy's vision is that we buy players not for the football. We buy players for the value. And we keep seeing it now. We bought Bergval out on loan. We buy Valise out on loan. No, right? So in the end of the day, all these young players, right? Sooner or later, if they do well, the value go up. But he has done mistakes too. Troy Parrott, Jack Clark, right? These two players we bought. And don't forget, Ryan Sessegnon, 30 million pounds from Fulham. How many years ago? 4 years ago. We wasted 30 million pounds on Ryan Sessegnon, who is, right, now the ultimate signal.
We used to think Darren Anderton was sick, no, but it's not. It's bloody Sessegnon.
Yeah.
Super signal.
Yeah. Sessegnon has taken over Anderton's title of being. But to tell the truth, right? But when Anderton did play and was able to play, he was good.
Great
He
player.
wasn't bad. He was a good player.
He was
Great
England
player.
international.
Yeah, he was an England international and he was a good player, right? He commanded that midfield. He had creativity, right? He could pass the ball. He could thread a needle, right? The eye of the needle with his balls. But the thing is that we got Ryan Sessegnon running on the wings, running up and down, right? And pulls a hamstring. Okay, it's a right hamstring now, right? Then 3 months later, it's the left hamstring now, right? Then 4 months later, I don't know what hamstring he's going to pull. Any more hamstrings does he have? And the worst part is, right, we spent 60 million pounds, right, on a Richarlison who had pubic bone problems. What is wrong with our medical team? That's why Richarlison couldn't shoot for the one season that he was under Conte. Right? But now he's done his surgery. He has gotten over all these things, but of course he's got his mental health illness and all that. I understand mental health illness plays a lot. Being a football player, I understand, because if you're not good enough, the fans will jump on you and they will curse you and they will do all kinds of things to you, and it actually will affect your mental health because we're all human. In the end of the day, we're all human, right? That's why I said I don't hate football, our bad football players, because I don't blame them, because if they are bad, they're not good enough. But my question is that why are they still here? Right? A lot of people are saying, should we keep Ryan Sessegnon, right, next season when he comes back? To me, is that why should we keep him? Why aren't we selling him? Right? But then the question is that if he's such a sick note, right, who is going to buy him?
I think the point has to be made, Eugene, gentlemen, about in the first place, your recruitment must be based on the right metrics, the right situation. Okay, first your choice of the player to buy, and then your negotiation and all that is all the business. It's all business to me. But and the other thing is, the most important thing is for you when somebody gets injured. You see, I sense that there is a problem with the way people have correlation between the medical situation and the performance situation. I always ask students who come under me when I take them for attachment, I ask, are you doing sports medicine or medicine in sports? Because there's always a situation where you're looking at the clinical aspect and you're not correlating with the performance aspects. Because when we have somebody with a hamstring injury, I do not look at the hamstrings alone, because a person is not made up of the hamstrings alone, whether it's the right, left, and you're talking about some other hamstring, yes? So you're looking, yeah, because you have to look further up and further down. In my experience, some of the big causes about hamstrings is not the hamstrings alone, but also the lower back. People have not looked at the lower back properly, number one. Number two, their running and walking gaits, so on and so forth, the way they kick. And Richarlison's problem with his groin, you have to look at the way he kicks. And when you have a groin problem, then you have to, when you do the reconditioning, not the conditioning in the first place, the reconditioning and the rehab, you must address all of these performance issues, So I think there's a bit of a gap between the medical team per se and also the performance team, the coaching team. So I think there has to be a closer correlation, because we find this problem in other sports as well. Hockey, field hockey, badminton and squash, so on and so forth. So I feel that in the end, if you look at the football, you have to look at the science of the football, which they have already started doing. But I think they're already behind the other teams as well, because you've got Manchester City and even Newcastle. I think they're maybe a bit forward, and even Brighton. If you look at Brighton, the way they recruit players, we have a lot to learn from them.
Yeah. And to talk about this is all sports science, right? To tell the truth, right? Maybe Spurs need someone like you, right, to go in and that medical. If Spurs offered you a job, would you have joined? Would you join them?
No, if they restore the senior concessions back to parity, then I'll go. Okay, so they'll be part of the deal, huh? Okay, Arthur.
Okay. All right. Scott, big up, Scott. Yeah, you got a link, right, Scott? But if you're not free, right? Scott hates Levy and our fans. Yeah, I understand, right? And of course, Danny says, right, Serious Football Club would release Sessignon.
Yeah.
Paul G, thanks for the subscribe, right? Thanks, right? And Kang is saying here too, right? Good afternoon, everyone. Paul, right? And of course, right, from our channel. But like we were saying, right, we see our players go in and out the medical treatment table, right? And Doc is actually, is a doctor, and he's into sports medicine and not medicine sports, right? You were saying there's both ways of looking at it. Yeah. And the thing is that big up Jose, big up. Good afternoon to you too, Jose, from El Cockrell TV, and of course from Ball. The thing is that in these times, right, football has become not just a sport, more of a science nowadays, right? Of trying to maintain the players, their abilities, their weakness, and all the the surrounding that goes around it, even their mental health illness. Right? If you are not mentally strong here, right, which sometimes when we see our Spurs players play, right, you're wondering the intelligence level of football that they have, right? You're sometimes wondering, do they have it? When you play that stupid ball, and you can see so many other options for you to take, but you play that stupid ball. If you don't have that capability, okay, that means your quality, you don't deserve to be playing Spurs. Your quality, you're not a top six, top six or a Premier League player, right? Look, okay, I'll give you an example. Harry Winks. We cursed him. We say he's rubbish. We say he's shit. He goes to Leicester now. He's running the team, right? Because Harry Winks, according to Stell, right, from Tottenham away, Harry Winks has always been played in the wrong position. He has never been played in his right position. Never been used properly by the managers that he's been put under. And I don't blame him, because during his tenure in Spurs, right, he had to go a run of Mourinho. I did start from Poch, right? Poch, Mourinho, Nuno, Conte. 4 managers with different style of plays. So you can't blame him there. But now he's gone over to the Championship, and he's a baller there. But the problem is that when he comes up to the Premier League, The level is different. Will he be a baller here again? So this is what we're going to wait for next season when Harry Winks comes back to the Premier League, and when he plays Spurs, let's see what happens. We're going to wait for that, right? That's how I see it. Of course, the chats. Okay, Paul says that. Been to KL once, beautiful. Got good afternoon, sunny. Yep, don't believe it's not like that. Paul, you come back to KL again. Let us know. We'll take you out and show you a good time in a certain way. Okay, and then of course the rest of the chats, they're just saying hi to each other, right? Big up to you guys, right? But we come to this again, like what Scott M says, right? He hates Levy and he hates our fans. I understand why he hates our fans, because our fans don't show that passion, right? That hunger for glory. That's why I understand that, right? So, but guys, it's been a very, very interesting conversation here, right? To tell the truth, I've not been doing a lot of shows lately, but hopefully now maybe I'll come back and do more shows with Chang being my co-host, right? I'm going to put more pressure on him, but Chang is going to work. Tell the truth, if I start work, the shows might come back down again, right? But I'll try to do at least one show a week, right? And of course, us being Spurs fans, now the first thing that we have to tackle is that being international fans, even though, right, the season tickets rise doesn't affect us that much, right? Because we're really going to spend a fortune just to go over to London to watch the game, right? And of course, taking away the concession, right? These are a few things, right? As us international fans, right, we must take into consideration, right? We must show that we are not happy, right? And we must let the club know, right? They have to change that, how we call that policy that they're trying to impose, right? Maybe the season tickets, normal season tickets should be revised to a lower rate, right, of the increase. Number one. Number two is that please remove the senior citizenship concession, their policy of trying to remove it. Please stop that, right? And I hope that we can band together as a fan base, right, to show the club of our dissatisfaction. Before I end the show, I'll have a round of last words from the panel here, right? I'll start first, of course, with my co-host Chang. Any last words? Oh, Chang, wait first. Before that, I'll ask Doc. Doc, are you free this Sunday at 9 p.m. to go and watch the game?
9 p.m. I think I'll be at my sister's house. There's a gathering over the weekend. Yeah.
Is it 9 or 11?
11, isn't it?
11, right? It's closer to 11.
Oh, sorry, I'm not sure. It's 11.
It should be 3 p.m. UK time. If it's 3 p.m. UK time on a Sunday,
11.
it would be 11 p.m.
Gentlemen, the kickoff on Sunday is 1 o'clock British Mean Time.
So it's 9 p.m.
It'll be 9 p.m. Okay, good.
Oh,
That's
so
good.
if Doc, if you can't make it for the 9 p.m., then Chang, 9 p.m. watch along.
I will have to get back to you on this because I already
You'll be
promised Senor Garcia and also
you
over on
again
Cock
promised them. Yeah.
but I'll
All
tell you
right.
what, let me try and work something out with them because I already did one watch along with them for the home game against Palace. Maybe this time around this weekend I will try and join you on Spursation TV for the away game at Villa. So let me see if I can get a replacement.
But don't worry, if you can't make it, don't worry. I'll find Arthur will be free. I mean, there'll be a lot of us. Be free to watch it.
I'll see if I can find a replacement for me to take over at LTL Cockerel and Talk and Ball. Otherwise, if not, we might even be able to do a dual stream if you're interested. We can even do a dual stream.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a dual stream. I'll talk to Colin or we'll talk to Jose, and we see how we arrange that.
He's actually here in the chat. If you look in the chat, Jose is here in the chat. He just joined the chat.
I'm not sure whether he's still here or not, right? Because some of the subscribers left, some of the viewers left. But Jose, we'll keep in touch. We'll see how to arrange that, right? But guys, last words, Chang.
Come on, you Spurs. Let's do it away at Villa Park against Aston Villa. 3 points.
Okay.
It must be a 3 points. Otherwise, we'll be losing out on a top 4 and potentially even better summer signings. We need that top 4. We need that Champions League spot to entice and lure the top talent in Europe to join the ranks of Son Heung-min and Madison and Romero. So come on, you Spurs! 3 wins is a must. 3 points is a must against Aston
Alright.
Villa this weekend.
Okay. And Arthur?
Took the words out of my mouth. A must win for Spurs on Sunday. Whether we can do it or not remains to be seen, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
All right. And Paul G says to you on weekend, folks, 2-0 to Spurs. Oh, okay. He's
Oh.
Doc,
Well, I as a fan, I have to believe in the team. You see, so let's win that match. Come on, you Spurs.
That's good. That's good, right? Of course, I want Spurs to win, but I'm more realistic, right? We don't use
No,
But guys,
no, you have to have balance.
have a bit balanced, right? But guys, Cheng and Doc, don't go away after, because I'm going to say all the shout out to all the guys in the chats, especially Paul G. Thanks for being on, being a subscriber. Cheng's Jose, Dan E was here, right? Scott M, right? Scott M, watch along, right? Don't forget this Sunday. Let's see how we're going to do it, right? Andreas, hope you're doing well too. Andreas, if I'm not mistaken, you're still in Mexico, right? Who else do we have? Mostly, I think I've gone through everyone. Oh, Nick Tay too. Nick Tay, yep, our Malaysian Spurs member, brother, right? And of course, JP from Tottenham Way. Chris Agamba, the number 1 Agamba. Chris, watch along, right, this Sunday if you're free. But I have to get Chris a stream, because whenever Chris doesn't watch along, he doesn't get to watch. Maybe I'll try to arrange something special for him the next time. Guys, I'm going to put a very, very special outro this time. It's going to be a bit long, right? But just hang in there. And all you Levy outers, this is the protest that happened last year. Okay? Watch this. Take care, everyone. And as always, Levy out from Asia.
Levy out.
Levy out. Say we want Levy out. We want Levy out. We want Levy out. Say we want Levy out. We want Levy out. Say we want Levy out. When is your breaking point? Tell me. When are you going to learn that we're doing it for the good of we sang in the rain, we sang in the sun, and we sang in the rain. They're trying to stop us, look what they did. The thing I want is leave it out, leave it out, leave it out. The thing I want is leave it out, leave it out, leave it out.
Hi guys, it's Dino here. I'm here at the protest, as you can see. It's very bright, there's the stadium. Now I hear there's going to be loads of protests in the stadium, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, but it's all peaceful. Please come and join us if you fancy having a little say of what you want. And yeah, Levy out.
Right, guys? Levy out.
Levy out.